Well, hello there. It's Dave Morales, and you see Jon Stenvall. Jon, say hi to everybody.
Hey, everyone.
Backstage experience is what we're calling this for you guys. And I know we've done it in podcast form before, but now it's video, it's talk, and we have our first guest. And you're probably looking down and seeing somebody down there in the corner. You probably recognize that guy. Without further ado, I'm going to get into the backstory here in a second. I just got to bring him up to the camera. Gentlemen, our friend, Chad Wolf. Chad, it is so good to see you, my friend.
Dude, it's good to see you guys, too. I'm overjoyed to be the guy that gets to run this with you guys for the first time. This is awesome. Considering our backstories, we got so much to share. It's fantastic.
We really do. And you're in good company, because the very first guest that we had when we started BackstageOL.com, when we started Backstage on the local Fox affiliate in Houston, Texas, shout out to KRIV Fox 26, because I know there's people watching from all over the world right now. But our very first guest was a guy that you have heard of by the name of Billy Gibbons.
Oh, that guy? Simple. That dude. The guy that really knows how to play guitar?
Oh, stop it. But you're in good company, my friend, because you're our very first guest. I should point out that Chad, you know him from lead singer of Carolina Liar, and that's actually how we met. And Chad, I can't, and we're going to talk about the new band here in a second, but I can't believe it. When I was getting my notes ready, do you realize that we all have known each other for over 10 years now?
Oh, dude, I know. Remember that bus party? That what was it? We were listening to. We almost flipped
Empire of the
bus.
Sun.
Empire of the Sun, man. But I remember we had some margaritas and stuff at a fantastic Tex-Mex place after we met you at the radio station. You guys, we left. We did a promo at the station. You're like, dude, let's go get some lunch, and it was probably 11:30, 12 maybe.
Well,
we went and just gorged on some amazing Tex-Mex, man. I can't remember the name of the place. There's probably a reason why I can't remember the name of it, but
okay, that's how rumors get started. But no, I want to point out the fact that it started May of 2009. John and I were in Los Angeles. I know the Rockets were in town playing the Lakers at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
We were headed to the LAX.
Yeah.
And in the rental car we were in, I turned the radio on. I believe it was 98.7 was the station.
Yeah.
And I heard this song that just blew me away. I couldn't believe what I was listening to. And of course, that was Show Me What I'm Looking For.
Show me what I'm looking for. Show me what I'm looking for.
Oh, dude. It's crazy. I get goosebumps thinking about the journey that song has been on, and all of us. It's just crazy what music and art like this can do. How it can keep all of us connected over this crazy world we live in. Wild, man.
Isn't that crazy? But so a question that I never asked you, even when I was on the radio, and you were on the radio with me several times, but a question that I ran across as I was getting ready for today, a question, something that popped up that I even in the many dinners that we've had there in Hollywood, I never asked you that you wrote that song in 20 minutes? Yeah,
we did. We absolutely did. It was me and the other Swedish guy, Tobias Karlsson. He had the chorus. We had the chord changes. He's like, I want to do something that stays on 4 chords for the whole thing. And he's like, I want it to be really simple. And he's like, as he got up, he's like, I got to use the bathroom. And he spoke, but just show me what I'm looking for. And I was like, that's the hook, man.
That's so cool.
So he went away, and I literally sat down. We were staying at a friend's house at the time because we were all about to move into where we're all in Laurel Canyon now, and we were about to move into Laurel Canyon at the time. And he went to the bathroom and he came back, and I was like, dude, I got the whole song. And he's like, you're what? For real? I was like, yeah, totally. And I just sang back to him kind of the breakdown of the whole thing. And the next morning we recorded it back at his house. And that's the vocals that Max Martin ended up using for the full production of the record. We couldn't beat what we recorded in this living room of the house. So song took 20 minutes to make and write, and it probably took, I think for the most part, we tracked those vocals in about an hour and a half and just played some really simple guitar parts. Pretty much what the guitar is now, what it was on that recording was basically what the arrangement was. Nothing ever changed from that. So my whole life changed in approximately 2 hours.
That's insane. And of course, you know, I mean, that year, I remember hearing it on the World Series. That song still is used in like sporting events, and when people have these major achievements, I still hear that song.
Dude, have you guys seen David Dobrik? Have you seen what he does? He gives a car away every time he gives a car away to somebody who does these like amazing humanitarian things. He uses that song, and he'll find people to like, you know, he'll buy people on the street, give them a car, and give them food for the rest of their lives. And he uses that song, and I had no clue. And it's kind of one of those things where a song becomes it isn't yours. It never was. In some way, you're just kind of the needle for it. It finds you, and you just channel it. And at that point, once you can kind of give it the breath that it needs to live, it can just do its own thing as long as you just get out of the way. And by doing that, I've been able to be a part of so many cool stories and just like being a ghost in a room in a way of like all this really kind of amazing stuff. That's a proper gift. Like if the universe can give you things, the universe giving us songs to play and to give to people, man, come on, that's some spiritual. I know I'm in Laurel Canyon, so I'm as hippie as it gets, but it's just amazing.
You know, you, and I'm glad you brought that up because I want to talk about the new group, the Federal Empire.
I've been sober for a month, hardly thought about drinking. You made a man out of me, I never go out on the weekends.
And I love what you guys are doing. I love the sound. You've got a brand new album that you have worked on for several years, but you decided to release it now, and it's called Road Through Hell. Tell me about the process of putting this band together. Where did the title come from? And then we're going to break down the title track.
Perfect. The band came from, it was, you know, it's interesting because it was the transition time between when Carolina Liar, it didn't really break up, but all the guys, everybody was moving on with their lives. And I was in the middle of a divorce was coming, and we started working these songs up. And it was initially wasn't going to be a band. It was just a bunch of writers, me, McKay Stevens, who's still part of like as the band, and Keith Aaron. We got together, wrote these songs. The first one we wrote was something called Never Saw It Coming. And we tried to pitch these things out for DJs just to be kind of featured vocals on things. And some of the stuff we got back wasn't right. And at that point, we're like, well, we'll just make it a band and call it our own thing. And one thing led to another. We ended up trying this thing out one night at a house party down in Venice. There's this place called the Winston House, and they have all these really cool bands that come and play inside of a house that you would never expect. Like Ed Sheeran shows up and plays, and Justin Bieber. Like it's insane. Like these guys are pulling off these monumental things inside of a house down in Venice. And we played one night, and some of the people from Scooter Braun's company were there. And that's the management team for Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande and everything. And they came in and basically kind of signed us on the spot with that project. And then that's where the Road Through Hell started to build. It's like one thing led to another where we couldn't come to like an agreement with how the thing would work with Scooter. Then we had to go through another management, but he was cool. You know, he was a good dude to us. Him and his team still supported us whenever we saw that things weren't going to work out. But it was just a matter of time because we, for the most part, wrote most of this album in 2014 and 2015. And it's just taken this long time to get to a place where something like Sumerian Records came on, and the president of Sumerian just really believed in this project. And he's just been like trying to just keep this thing motivated and keep it going. And we were going to release the record anyway due to this tour that we had. We were going out with Unlikely Candidates. It was going to start tonight. It was the first show, supposed to be. And then the pandemic came up, and we all sat down and talked about it. And like, well, with what this song means, the title of the record was always going to be Road Through Hell. We should put it out because it's really eerie how some of these songs kind of mirror what we're going through.
Oh, what my grandpa said, life is just a dream on his old deathbed.
Like the death of the American dream, like what the American dream has done. The Road Through Hell is a story about a man that's passing away, and he knows that he's passing away, and he's trying to tell his son or his family that you know, this looks terrible, but there's real joy in the moments that come, you know, and it's like, and I think that's teaching us so much right now to like get away from all this material things and like have value in the fact that we love our friends and family. And so we felt, you know, in those things where the context of the album came from, like it was important to just go ahead and release it. And the cool thing with the label is they're like, you know what? Who cares about the money or the sales aspect of it? Let's try and give some art to people, like something they can listen to. Maybe they'll be able to relate. You know, you can't force anything on anybody, but maybe this song will mean something to people, and these songs will mean something to them while they're stuck in this craziness that we're trying to figure out. And
there's a lyric
kind of
in the song, in the title track. The only way to heaven is a road through hell. Wow.
It's so true. But we've all been there, right, man? I mean, think of the three of us, like the things that all three of us have had to experience to be able to still be friends at this point in our lives, 10 years later. The journey it's taken, like, to still be here. We all know what we've gone through, and it's still like, it's not even a like thing. We've really had to fight. I mean, Dave, you and John have had to like force people to believe and see what your vision was for your company. Like, you guys have really had to like fight through hell to be what you know is right. And you still have to convince people, no matter how successful you guys are, people are probably still like, nah, that'll never work. And it's like, oh my God, you guys. And it's that thing, like it is, you've got to go through so much to get what you guys believe in out. Same for us, you know?
The statement that a lot of people make, Chad, is you two are still talking to each other.
Of course, man. You guys are family, you know what I mean? It's like, of course, that's what families do. You fight, you scream, you yell, but you believe in each other, so you stick together.
Right. Your songs are so personal to you, Chad. And
dude, it's the only way it can be, Dave. I mean, you know that. Like, if you did this stuff and you guys were not telling the truth, people would smell you out and let you know. Like, it's got to be personal. What's the point of doing our art and what we believe in if we don't bring a personal aspect to it?
Absolutely. All right. So I want to get into details about the new album. And I know you have a guitar there. Do not feel obligated to do full songs, but if you can give us just a little sample of Road Through Hell, I'd love to hear it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, man. I'll play it in a different key than what's on the record because I didn't bring it. I mean, there's a capo out here, but it doesn't sound as good capoed up. So, I mean, you can't even see the guitar. There it is. There it is. So, anyway, so yeah, so I think I can work this thing all the way through. Let's at least do a point. It's mine. There we go. That's the key I want. Oh, well, my grandpa said life's just a dream on his own deathbed. I don't know what he meant. He was suffering through his final breath. And he said, even in misery, there's happiness underneath. It's only in the end that you can tell. The sun will shine after rain. The pleasure comes after pain. The only way to heaven is a road through hell. The only way to heaven is a road through hell. It's kind of the start of that one. It gets emotional, man. That tune is so heavy in so many ways. It's like, oh man, it's so hard right now. Like, the thing is so honest. I'm glad I'm wearing glasses because I'm tearing up in here and like trying to keep my voice from sounding like I'm yodeling from the tears. It's crazy.
You know, everybody's going through it, and like you said, you know, music, movies, entertainment as a whole, reading, anything like that can kind of take your mind off of what's going on, because it truly is. I mean, when you see the what's happening in the world right now, with every day, you know, the case count goes up, the people that are passing away from this, the people that, you know, we're all isolated now. I see you're doing well in quarantine, by the way. You look, that your background is awesome.
It's, it's really cool is like, because even with the divorce and everything, my ex-wife and I are really good friends because we have this really awesome son. This is her place, and she's always had just like this amazing sense of style and cool factor. So like during the days right now, I got to come up and teach him because he's out of school. So she's got this great place. It's got like insane sunlight, beautiful, like, I mean, you guys should see this thing. Hold on, I'll flip it around for you just a touch. So let's see, check it out. She's got lemon trees, cactus,
Nice.
cool like random like rabbits that she's stuffed and put on post. Some unicorns that she's captured in Laurel Canyon.
Okay.
But she's been cool. She lets me come up here and hang out. We're all getting along as a family, working together, just doing things, that this time that we're living in is forcing us to come to the realization that other things are way more important. Like this time with our son and being able to work together as a family and quarantine out. And this, like, man, we're blessed. Like, she worked hard to have something like this and to be able to be in a situation where we can be in our son and this, and I'm working on my crossbow skills in case things get really out of control.
We're talking with Chad Wolf, master crossbower, and also lead singer of the Federal Empire. By the way, I should point out that the Road Through Hell album is now available wherever you buy music, Apple, Google, Amazon, anywhere you can buy music. You should definitely get this album, Road Through Hell, again, Federal Empire. Dude, you're just amazing. And I love your optimism, your enthusiasm, and your love for life. And despite everything, we all just move forward, and that's the message. And I love that you project that, Chad. I just do.
Dude, that's how, I mean, come on, man. That's how all three of us got together. There would be no way in the world we would have hung out this long because I had to disappear on you guys there for a minute too, because my life was just in such a death spiral. So I checked out, and then whenever I got my mind back together, you guys were there immediately, and you always were there. I just was like,
of course, man, your family. I mean,
you guys you were always like main support, and like it's awesome. I always wanted to say thank you guys for being there and being around as soon as I figured out what I had to do with myself. It was really something beautiful that you guys were just real friends, and I appreciate that.
And look at us here once again as we launch the Backstage Experience with our good friend Chad.
You guys are here on launch day. Those are proper real friends, man.
I know that you love to perform live. The thrill of being on stage.
Oh.
We were there with the dates with Rob Thomas, and of course you were supposed to be in Indianapolis, I think, this week.
Yeah.
Let's talk about and that tour will continue once this all passes. Yeah. I know we're going to see you live here in Houston, where we're based, and other parts around the country.
We need to go see him in DC in June, right?
Yeah, we're supposed to be. Everything, it just, as long as everything works out, no matter what, we're gonna at least reroute all this stuff and put it all back together. The label's ready to tour this thing, and we are ready to play it. I mean, we've got like it's crazy because we just got to the point of really taking the sound of the project to another level. Like as drums come in and kind of it's at that place, kind of where Carolina Liar got that crazy jump when the band really started gelling. And it just kind of the last rehearsal we had before everything got pulled was like, oh my God, this sounds so fun.
I should also point out that thank you, Chad, also for not sharing any tour stories with John and I and you. And
the hotel story is the best story in Dallas.
Yeah, that's a good one. We didn't get arrested, so that's nothing too bad. And that was all my fault, right? It's always my fault. You can always blame the lead singer of a band, man. That's.
I just remember looking at security as we were carrying a cooler out of a hotel, and I actually got to use the line. And I didn't realize what I'm about to say is what I told the security guy, and it just kind of came out of my mouth, and it's an expression. And you know where I'm going with this, that people just say a lot of times as a joke. But I looked at him and I was like, dude, I'm with the band. And it was just, it was great.
Yeah,
it was great.
It was amazing. We probably had about $10,000 worth of alcohol in that cooler.
Dude, at least.
At least. All right, Chad, again, thank you so much for your time. The Federal Empire, Road Through Hell is the album. We're definitely going to do this again. We can't wait to see you in person. But before we leave, and again, you don't have to do the whole song, but dude, I gotta hear. Show me what I'm looking for.
Oh, of course, dude. I got you. Hold on. Let me make sure I got this thing tuned for you. Wait, I'm wrong. Should have done better than this. Please, I'll be strong. I'm finding it hard to resist. So show me what I'm looking for. Save me, I'm lost. Oh Lord, I've been waiting for you. I'll pay any cost. Save me from being confused. Show me what I'm looking for. Show me what I'm looking for. Oh Lord, don't let go. I wanted this far too long. Mistakes become regrets, and I've learned to love you. So show me what I'm looking for. Baby, I'm lost. Oh Lord, I've been waiting for you. I'll pay any cost. Save me from being confused. Show me what I'm looking for. 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 Oh Lord.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. This thing sounds good, man. It's like tagged up to this bench. It's hollow. It's like,
you know what?
It's all big.
You got to play a show today. You got to play a show today, and we can't thank you enough. Chad Wolf,
Thank you,
you're
guys.
amazing. I love you. I can't wait to see you in person.
Love you guys too, man.
You're the bomb. Cool. And there you go.
You guys are, and the fact that we're still in it, man. We're gonna survive this thing.
We got to end on that because there's nothing more positive than that. And Chad is so right. John, thanks. Dave Morales here, and ladies and gentlemen, that is the Backstage Experience.